I'm Mads, and today in the Mayhem is the start of a beautiful process of turning this dress and also this dress into a beautiful battle ball gown that I will be wearing at Kineticon this year. And today marks the day of one out of God knows how many. So I'll take you along for the process, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. And I'm back. So I didn't get this next part on film, but I added a ribbon and I stuck a bunch of pins to the tool. Now I'm gonna go sew it to Alright, so what we got done for day one so far is just this lovely little tulle skirt. And I know that she doesn't look like much, but trust me, you just gotta trust the process and everything else about it. So, yeah. Day one, success. Yeah. What's up, Maniacs? Welcome back to the Mayhem. I'm Mads, and today in the Mayhem, it is day two of turning two beautiful dresses into an even more gorgeous battle ball gown that I will be wearing at Kineticon this year. And one thing I forgot to mention since the last time I worked on this was that this is actually a Poison Ivy Apocalyptic Goddess cosplay. And another thing I forgot to mention is if the top dress looks familiar, it's because this dress was originally my Poison Ivy cosplay back in 2019, so I'm just revamping it and making it look prettier. So yeah, I'm gonna get started. Okay, before I begin, one other thing that's going to be happening today is I got this big petticoat. Hang on, let me take it out. For the ball gown to really make it a ball gown. And yeah. Definitely not like any other petticoats I've had. But yeah, she just needs some love, and that is what I'm gonna do. Anyway, back to the corset content. So I figured something out. So basically just have these two corset pieces hot glued. I'll get the hot glue in a minute, and just glue these pieces together just so they don't separate, and then maybe hot glue the corset into the fabric. Okay, so the holes are all done, and nobody Nobody better reference The Office in the comments, because I swear to God. But no, I'm kidding. You guys have fun. So the holes are done, although some might be bigger than others. I'm watching you commenters. But next, since some of the holes are a little bit bigger than the others, I'm gonna add a cosplayer's favorite / best friend, the glue gun. Also, fuck. Try not to burn yourself from glue. Just gonna use this as a stand. And okay. Just letting you know, my camera is probably gonna die soon, so just in case if it doesn't get everything else, just know that I'm just gonna do this, then sign off for the night. 'Cause yeah. The back, not really. Okay. Here we are. I'm just gonna move her a little bit closer. So as we see, the back is all done. It's messy, but it's done. And I burned my fingertips all for the sake of cosplay and art. And if you don't suffer at least a tiny bit for your art, you're not an artist. So next step is probably gonna be the most time consuming, and that is going to be sewing. That's going to be sewing the corset into the dress. And actually, before I do that, I'm gonna see if I can ribbon these holes and see what works. Oh wait, never mind, there's actually some ribbon stuck in here. Time to do some nice threading. And yeah, so alright, so this is what I got done so far. I might change it, but overall, not too shabby. Not too shabby. Okay, so it is day whatever out of God knows how many for the Poison Ivy battle ball gown cosplay. And so far what I did just a bit of a recap. So far what I did last time was, so far I have sewn the top under boob-ish area. And my goal for today is to take care of the rest of the top, and maybe if there's time, because I'm going out with some friends later, is to do the same thing to the bottom. Then we get to do the long and annoying and quite possibly semi-dangerous, because it can cause nerve damage, hot gluing several hundred leaves all over the bodice. Okay, so it is currently 6 hours later, and what I got done so far is, here we go. So what I got done so far is just I sewed this part of the front, then all of this part, and yes, I know they're not identical, but I'm trying my best here. Did some of the underboob, did my best to cover it up. I'll take care of the rest next time. And it's a little hard to see. Can I zoom in? Yeah. I did a few little stitches here, but so far, top part of the corset sewn in, and it's all set. Next on the agenda is the bottom part of the corset, so that's gonna be fun. Poisonmaniacs, it is day whatever out of God knows how many for the Poison Ivy Battle Ball gown, blah 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 blah. I know it seems like I'm out of it, that's because I'm very tired, didn't sleep well last night, but crafting must go on. This is for cosplay and for art, I tell you. In any case, so with Kineticon drawing even more near, so for today I'm going to tighten up the underboob, and then hopefully work on the bottom side of the corset. And before all that, I'll try on the dress to see if it fits, because this is, I want to say, a size, yes, the mannequin is a size 12. Alright, so it is the first time trying on the dress in, okay, I started this project back in February, it is June now, well, since February, and so far, it fits, the corset fits, the dress fits, although the dress is a little baggy, so I'm gonna fix that with the cosplayers and a lazy person's favorite tool, the hot glue gun. And thankfully, I have a few sticks over here, just in case we run out. And so yeah, hopefully the next step is to glue all of the leaves along the bodice, and then I will get started on the train. I might make it look a little bit more choppy because we're looking for apocalyptic stuff here. Also, one little thing before I forget, instead of having this green tool from the second dress as like 2 overskirts, I figured why not just have one of the tool as one of the overskirts, and have one of the others as kind of like a cape. And I think it looks pretty cool, and I absolutely love it. So we're making progress, and it's in the right direction. I fucking love it. Alright, I'm gonna make this quick. So, quick little update. So far, hot glued the boob, and I also hot glued here, and I also removed all of these leaves from this, and originally it looks like this, but I didn't want to disturb the birdies. What's up? It is day whatever out of God knows how many for turning an old Poison Ivy cosplay into a beautiful battle ball gown. So I'm back and bluer than ever. And so for today is the day that I've been dreaming of, because my God, sometimes you can get tired of sewing. Is hot gluing all of these leaves onto that Poison Ivy cosplay dress. Okay, so it is currently 4 hours later, And so far what I got done is all of this. Just the whole front chest done. And funny enough, there's still more small leaves to hot glue. And then once the small leaves are done, it's time for the big leaves. And these are going to be a huge pain in the butt. And here's the real kicker. I only have one glue stick left, and the other one is basically almost gone. So if you could take a little look at that. Yeah. Oh crap. So yeah, I will be back tomorrow. Alright, so here's how she looks like so far. And so far I like it, but I'm gonna need to glue down these two sides, because if I didn't, the dress would look kind of like this, and I'm not here for this part. Alright, so it is 2-ish hours after the last time I recorded, and yes, my hands are still blue, yes, my face is still blue, yes, my ears are still blue, but that's perfectly fine. And so far what we got done is a little bit of the side boob area, and a little bit of this side boob area. But the important thing about today's success is that all of the tiny leaves have been successfully hot glued to the chest, and then in the next part I'll be working with some bigger leaves about this big, and hopefully all of those will be enough to cover the rest of the bodice. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, maniacs alike, non-binary pals, and whatever the heck you decide to identify as, or however you feel like you identify as, I present to you the bodice of the beautiful battle ball gown. And although she's not totally finished yet, I still have, as you can see, there's still like a little bit of some area over here that needs to be touched up and stuff. But not to worry. Next time I come here, I will be taking some of these leaves, and I will be patching up some of the rough spots, because I made a line to where the corset ends, and so I just want to cover up the whole corset, you know. But yeah, day whatever, success. All right. You've heard of 50 Shades of Grey. Well, ladies and gentlemen, non-binary pals, and everybody else in between, I present to you 50 Shades of Green. So, yeah, hang on. So far we got the bodice done. Then I kind of hot glued like a little bit of a leaf belt, somewhat. And I also tried to hot glue the vines from longest to shortest, then the same thing on the other side. Like this side has so much more detail than the other side. But you know what? That is all okay, because all around it looks amazing. And now we can get into the part that I have been dying to do. We are going to tackle this monstrosity of a petticoat by completely cutting her up and making her look as ragged as possible, but still look pretty. So, yeah. Anyway. Okay. So far, she is beautiful, raggedy, and all around mess, which is just what we want. And also, a side note, so about, I want to say a week ago, I got an email saying that I wasn't accepted into Deathmatch this year. But that is okay, because there's always next year, and it's not something I should fret too much about. Plus, on the bright side, I wouldn't have to go through this whole cosplay process again next year, because next year she will make her debut, well, Deathmatch debut at Deathmatch next year. So, yeah. All nice and foofy and messy, and I love it. Though there could be a couple things that could use some chopping, but that's fine. She looks beautiful and messy, and I love it. Speaking of messy, let me show you how much was gone. All of this came from that. The things we do for cosplay in the name of art. But oh well. It'll be worth it. I'm gonna clean this up, then on to the next part of the cosplay. Cool. What's up, Maniacs? Welcome back to the Mayhem. I'm Mads, and I have a lot of explaining to do. So from the last clip till now, it's actually been 2 years since I worked on my Poison Ivy cosplay. And for a little bit of a recap as to what has been going on with my life, number one, a lot of life stuff. Number two, last year at Kineticon, I went as Rocking Sand Wolf from Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. And so that was pretty fun. Well, instead of Poison Ivy, like I said I would. But, you know, you ever get the feeling where you're finally done with something, but then you look back at it and you're like, that's not right. There needs to be something more to it, you know? So, I didn't record the wig styling. Well, the wig detangling and washing and everything else yesterday because number one, my camera was dead, so it was charging, and number two, it may not seem like it, but there are 2 wigs on this head, and if you don't believe me, I have the proof right here. And this is just half of the wig clumps that I pulled out from yesterday. But any case, allow me to show you what I've been thinking of. So, what I've been thinking of for the Poison Ivy dress is, number one, add all of this evergreen ivy all over the place, and get rid of the cape, because as Edna Mode once said, no capes. So yeah, and also I'm planning on ripping out into these vines, because I've learned that with vines that are very easy to remove, they can also be seen as collateral, well, in my eyes. So I'm going to rip out the cape and the vines, and you know what, just to save some time, off with the cape. Snip 1 and snip 2. Please tell me I didn't not glue this side too. Okay, cool, I didn't. Oh, so it was just outside a hot plate. Anyway. Okay. So another thing that I was thinking of for the cosplay revamp, the final round, was to add sleeves. And what better material than tulle for a blazing hot July convention. And Mother Mayhem taught me waste not, want not. So I'm planning on making sleeves from the cape. And for the record, I am not going off of any pattern, any other kind of notion other than a hunch on how to do it. Like a very vague hunch on how to do it. So, yeah. Alright, I will take you along for the ride and see you when I get this done. Okay, so unfortunately the sewing machine is refusing to work with me, so might as well go back into where sewing all started, by hand. So... Okay, so here is the progress so far. As far as the sleeves, and as far as the sleeves go, so far, not too bad. Granted, I only have one of them half done. And unfortunately, as we all know, sewing machines can be a tad temperamental. Mine decided to bust out on me. So we can save that part of the project for another day. In the meantime, I'm going to get started on another sleeve and start ripping off the rest of the vines and start adding all of these. If you think this is a lot, my ADHD brain hyperfixated on leaves and plants for the past 2 years. So I guess you could say I'm really committed to the bit. Anyway, okay, so a little bit of an update. The sewing machine got fixed, and by the way, I just want to thank my amazing aunt right here. Say hi.
Amazing aunt.
Who is basically teaching me how to be a seamstress.
Hold back.
And she helped me.
Yeah, what happened was I
She helped me make this.
And
also
right
my good friend Edwin right here, who made me this amazing battle harness for the beautiful battle ball gown.
Alright.
And right now we are in the process of making a train. So a train that once is attached to the dress, I will then completely smother in evergreen leaves. So that's gonna be fun. Alrighty. And just like that, it is several hours later. Long story short, errands and life, and also just some just in case supplies for the project. So anyway, this is what she looks like for now. A super long train that's about as big as a wedding dress, and big enough for me to wrap myself around as kind of like a little toga. Wait, should this be a toga? Nah. But yeah, this is what she looks like. And before I move on to, well, my most anticipated part of the crafting, hot gluing several dozen leaves onto this beautiful garment. What needs to be done first and foremost is the wig. I'll go get her right now. Yeah, and like I said before, this may seem like just one wig, but it's actually two, which I'm going to sew and then style. Okay, the wig sewing is done, and not really sure if you guys can see it or not, but the wig sewing is an absolute mess. And I am not a seamstress, I am not a wig stylist, I am just somebody who's very creative. And anyway, not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is I'm not a professional, I'm just somebody who is, again, creative. And wig sewing, from what I've learned, because I've only sewn 2 weeks together once before, and I mean in my Roxanne Wolf cosplay, I don't have the pictures on my Instagram, but I do have the pictures on my I do have the videos on my TikTok. So yeah, I feel like this one might be a little bit more easier than that one, or a little bit harder, or just somewhere in between. But yeah, after that little sewing session, she is now a hot mess. Time to stab her all over again. By the way, I don't literally mean stab YouTube. I mean poke actual needles into a fake wig head. Whoever said wig styling and stuff to do with wigs was easy is a dirty liar. It is messy and a pain in the butt. That's all I have to say about it. And for this lovely, beautiful pain, I'm planning on putting zip ties around her hair, like this. And now for the not so fun part. Just gonna, open my door for ventilation. Just gotta really get the spray in there so she stays. Oh. Kids do not do anything that I do at home. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, Con is in 2 weeks, so that's fun. Yeah. There. Now, the poison ivy wig, she's almost finished, but for now I'm just going to let her cure overnight, and then tomorrow I'm going to hot glue these beautiful flower heads onto the zip ties, and maybe do a little something with the zip ties. I'm not sure yet, but let's see what happens tomorrow. See you in a bit. Okay, the wig, she is finally done. And as you can see, not only is there a lot of, I'm not sure if you can, here's a better look at the ponytail. As you can see, not only is there a lot of hairspray in this wig, but there is a lot of hot glue to this wig. But I think I did a pretty good job. And I'm pretty damn proud of myself for it. For all this. Alright. Okay, so for today's objective in the Battle Ball Gown Poison Ivy Battle Ball Gown Saga, I will be sewing these leaves and sewing kind of like vine stems onto these tights. And I figured, what better place to do than old Grandpappy's chair. So, see ya in a bit. Okay, so here's what we're working with so far. I only got most of, well, a good chunk of this leg down. And yeah, I will finish hopefully the rest when I'm out of work. Well, when I get back from work tonight. Okay, so here's what I got so far. And YouTube, don't age restrict me because I'm wearing shorts. See? I'm wearing shorts. And so far I have some leaves sewn on to the toe area. And next I'm gonna just sew a bunch of leaves all across the leg and so on and so forth. Hello. Several hours have passed. Hang on. So several hours have passed. And you ever realize that you ever get the feeling whenever you overanalyze something, you may feel like you might have overanalyzed way too much and put way too much unnecessary effort into something? Well, here's my unnecessary effort. You see all of this from, you know what? Currently the camera is currently on a chair. So I'm just going to, so from here all the way to here is nothing but completely sewn leaves, but from here to here is just leaves. I mean, is just the leaves that I've clipped, that I've kind of folded into the stocking. And the fun part about these leaves is that they're bendable and I can just simply go boop and bada bing bada boom, I'm done. My right leg is finally done. And I just gotta say one quick thing. Making your cosplays by hand, it ain't for the weak. Because my God, I'm pretty sure I might have gotten tetanus, possibly from stabbing myself multiple times with metal needles. But don't worry, I've had my shots, so I should be fine. Now, onto the left leg. Okay, it is several hours past when I first started, and it is currently almost 2 in the morning, so that's fun. Anyway, here's what my left leg looks like. And call me lazy, call me whatever. I'm just so tired and annoyed with these tights already, and I haven't even worn them to con yet. But they're done. They're done. They're sturdy. And I can still walk in them without them ripping entirely. So I'm calling that a win. And so yeah. Now for the final part that I have been anticipating / dreading, hot gluing dozens of leaves to the dress. So okay, folks, so we ran into a little bit of a problem. So far, my hot glue gun has unfortunately jammed up, and I still have this entire dress to cover in leaves, and I'm not even done with the short front half of it. So yeah, and by the way, sometimes being a hoarder cosplayer can come in handy in extra times of need, because I found not one bottle of super glue, but 2 bottles of super glue. So yeah, we're gonna have some fun here. Woo! So, quick little update. So not only did I go to the store and get more vines for more leaves, because this dress is bigger than I am. And Lord knows, I'm gonna need more leaves if I want to cover the whole thing. And so far, I have already gone through 2 packs of jumbo hot glue gun sticks. Oh, also while I was at the store, I got a new hot glue gun. And something I learned recently is when you're buying hot glue guns, go cheap. You get the ones with this nozzle, not the ones with this fine tip. So yeah, if it's cheap, it's easy, and it gets the job done. Well, that can be said about a lot of things. Hi. I'd like to interrupt into your regularly scheduled waiting at this point to tell you some splendid good news. So, last night, July 10th, I got the email that I got accepted into Deathmatch, and I just gotta say, I am beyond so fucking excited. Sorry, YouTube, I didn't mean to swear. I'm just so excited for it. Because finally, after years of, you know, it's all coming full circle is what I'm trying to say. Everything is all coming full circle, and I just couldn't be happier. So anyway, I'm going to go back to hot gluing several dozen leaves and burning myself in the process for the art of cosplay. Okay, after about 2 days of nothing, actually no, scratch that. 2.5 days of nothing but hot gluing leaves to the front. The front is finally done. But during this process, I learned something. When it comes to hot glue and fabric, make sure you put your garment on a mannequin, or else it's going to be flat like a pancake. So this is going to be fun shaping out. Now for the next one, I'm going to do the back. And good Lord, is she a doozy. So this will be a fun project to do. Alright. Okay, so here's what I did. I took one of my laundry hampers and I filled it up with a bunch of towels and a really big comforter, and then I used the pillow to, you know, make it stable-ish in a way. So don't mind me just processing a lot of stuff over here. And this is basically how many leaves I have left. So I can definitely tell that I will be making another stop to the craft store in the future. Okay, quick little update. I managed to get the entirety of the bottom back of the dress, and well, remember when I said that with fabric you need to have a mannequin or else it becomes flat like a pancake? Well, sometimes pancakes are necessary. But anyway, I had another lovely trip to the store. Got some more leaves. And also best part is Kineticon is in 3 days. Hello. It is currently the day of badge pickup for Kineticon 2024. And I still have the train to do. Thankfully I finished the top part, which was whenever I close my eyes, you know what I see? I see leaves, but they won't leave me alone. But yeah. Okay, so here is the final project. So, she doesn't look exactly as I had hoped and planned she would, but that's life, right? Also, this wonderful shoulder armor and bracers were made by my amazing friend Wolfie. Here, boy.
Not me, this guy.
Yeah, my wonderful friend Edwin right here, or Wolfie, and he runs an awesome leather company. Well, leather goods.
Everyone's here.
Well, it's
Yeah.
in the making. We're still working on it.
Well, keep an eye out for Tainted Wolves leather accessories and co. So yeah, anyway, this concludes this portion of the 2024 Kineticon experience, and yeah, I'll keep everybody updated. And this is Mads Mayhem signing off. Bye. See ya. Boom.
To blue. It needs blood. Please welcome Poison Ivy.
That's my
As you can tell, I did not win deathmatch, but it's fine. I'm just beyond happy that I got past the first round. That's all I care about. So right now I am in the transition of changing out of regular day Ivy into party Ivy, and I'm going to the anti-Raven. I'll take you along with me.